Right then, people, good day. Hope you're doing all right. So I've just been sitting here with my chat on stream. Chat, feel free to say hello to YouTube. So we've been keeping track of all the newest Rust Workshop skin submissions. If I were to refresh right now, do we see a new one? No, not yet. But yeah, we've been looking at all of these brand new Rust Workshop skin submissions, eagerly awaiting to notice any interesting looking collection continuations. You know what I'm like. So yeah, of course, I'm building up the newest Rust Workshop skin checks collection. Get a good look at all of these. Do you notice any interesting looking collection continuations? I'll point one out to you immediately. We got ourselves a brand new Pirate Sheet Metal Door. Yes. And over the past, good half a year or so now, I've been keeping an eye on all of these pirate skins, haven't I? And, well, maybe it's time to start talking about it again. Yes, it's a brand new video talking about this. So, as I pointed out, we're just sitting here just before Christmas, We're out of the worst of it in regards to the autumn-fall seasonal dip. You might remember me talking about that back over to here. So, yeah, that was part 5. Back then, Ruskins were not doing very well. That was a very awkward time. A lot of the pirate skins, particularly, they had a ton of quantity on the Steam market, and the prices weren't, they weren't getting any better. But this was a routine pattern. This is a thing we've experienced before. If I were to just quickly go over that one more time, as you are aware, with the likes of Rust and its player counts, it's a fairly routine thing that happens. If you make a comparison of the people playing in the summer compared to the people playing over the past 2 or 3 months, it's quite noticeable, isn't it? So it's not too hard to understand that when there's a lot less people playing the game, the skin prices suffer, don't they? Yeah. Awkward, but it's a routine thing that happens all the time. And what do we expect for around December time? The player count to start increasing again. And once we hit around January, we're going to probably see a very, 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 very high amount of people playing. And you're going to sit there and say, well, what makes you think that? Because it basically happens every single year. Look at this. So, autumn, fall season, pretty low compared to the summer. But then you get to December, then you get to January, then you get to February. Yeah. So this is a routine pattern that tends to happen every single year. And, well, the expectation is a lot of Rust skins are going to be reaching some all-time high prices in just about 2 months' time. So I thought, you know what? Good time to start talking about the likes of the Pirate Collection again, because we are now past the worst of it. We have basically got past the awful times around here, and I just wanted to do some nice comparisons of what it was like 2 months or so ago and what it's like now. And then this is a nice recording to see the difference of what it's like now and what it's like during January time, post-Christmas time, the best time to sell your Rust skins, because there's a huge surge in demand, and that leads to a huge increase in price for pretty much every single Rust skin. Now, if you just want to be aware of the likes of my progress talking about this whole collection, well, if you go to YouTube, click playlists, you will see that I have a playlist called Helpful Rust Skin Investing Videos, and if you just scroll down a fair bit, you'll see the first video where I first started talking about the likes of the Pirate Collection, and then we started to gradually talk more and more about it whenever new pieces were being accepted. And we talked about its progression. We talked about the problems. We did have issues with oversaturation. We did have issues where there was far too much quantity on the Steam market and whatnot. And then, of course, the most recent video was this one where we talked about the horrible, horrible autumn-fall seasonal dip. But we're past it, and we can now start talking about the differences. So I do have this nice and prepared. Here is the current state of the pirate skins. Yes, of course, we do have some of these other pirate skins. We're only talking about the ones that are the budget blackout ones, not all of these older ones. So yeah, get a good look at all of that. These are all the pirate skins that we have that have been made by Y9J, to be specific. And I just want to do a nice little comparison here. So get a good look at this. Do you remember this? This was the video I just showed you, the part 5 autumn fall seasonal dip. You can see how low they were, and you can see how many of them were in the Steam market. For example, if I were to take a look at the likes of the road sign gloves, there's 425 of them on the Steam market. With the likes of the road sign kilt here, 447 quantity on the Steam market. This was sitting at 86 cents on the Steam market. It was doing pretty bad, but all Rust skins were doing pretty bad. But my words were, when I looked at that, if that's it at its worst, I want to see what it looks like when it's at its best. And we're already seeing some very nice improvements. So, yep, Hoodie right here, 373 quantity. Pirate Pantaloons, 528 quantity, 98 cents. So, yeah, even during the bad times, these weren't really doing that bad. And just to point out to all of you people, the vast majority of Rust skins this year reached their lowest point typically around early October. So this was fairly close to the absolute worst of it. So let's go get a good look at the pirate skins right now. So yes, they do still have very high quantities. Compared to most Rust skins, they do. So on average, for every Rust skin on the Steam market, you'd expect an average quantity of about 100. A little bit more, a little bit less, it's fine. But if it's a lot more than 100, then by default, you'd assume there's going to be some potential problems trying to sell them for a decent profit and whatnot. So get a good look at that. And now we're going to actually take a look at the skins up close. So get a good look at this. Pirate Hoodie. If we can remember over to here, back then, just about two to 2.5 months ago, 373 quantity. I look at it now, 257, which is still quite a lot, but the price is so much better. And you now notice some problems immediately, don't you? You notice that it has 11, 15, and 79 quantity. That's a problem. That is resistance. That's going to stop it from rising up in price ever so nicely. But I will sit here and tell you, don't be fooled by this. By default, you don't want to be selling your skins right now. No. You want to wait until January. Because when loads and loads of people return to play the game, they'll still buy that. They won't care. It's a lot more affordable when you make a comparison to the likes of, I don't know, Blackout Collection. Yeah, that's still expensive. So for the price of maybe one single Blackout Kilt, you could still buy the likes of all of this, like a full set of pirate collection. I'm talking all of the core pieces, for example, and an AK, maybe even a Thompson. So yeah, you have to remember, not everybody can afford all of that. But for around, maybe about a fifth, maybe a third of the price, they can afford that. Oh yes, they can, and that's what a lot of people are going to be doing. So do take this into consideration. When we see a nice surge of people returning to playing the game, you're going to see a lot of these getting bought. And again, still by default, a lot of these are still going to get bought and whatnot. It's just not everybody can afford a $12 coffee can helmet or an $18 Blackout hoodie. So yeah, look at this Pirate Hoodie. Yeah, $1.33, 257 of these. Then we'll hop over to here. That is the hoodie here. Yep, that's $18. And even then, I do still expect this to go up in price, but yeah. it's not the best. Now, one quick thing I wanted to show you, look at the sales history, because like I said, the vast majority of skins this year, their lowest point, early October. And then from then, look at that, it's just going up and 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 up. In fact, we could also take a look at the likes of the Blackout hoodie. Was that basically the exact same thing? Yeah, it was. Yeah, look at that. Went all the way down. Well, actually, it kind of reached its lowest point around October. But yeah, regardless, it's improving. All skins are improving. And we're very likely going to see them peak around January time. All right? So, back over to here. Let's just remind ourselves of a particular instance of what we're currently looking at. So, with what you see here, these big fat walls, this isn't the only skin in the Pirate Collection that has this. If I were to go over to the likes of the pants, the pantaloons, you've also got some significant quantities there as well. Not as bad as the pants, but the hoodie, but gloves also has it. Good look at the gloves. So that's there as well. Here's my answer to this. I wouldn't be surprised if the people who have these big fat walls just so happen to be the highest buy orders as well. Would you be surprised that they're probably just trying to intimidate scared people into selling to the highest buy order because they think they're not going to be able to make a profit? I wouldn't be surprised. This is that intimidation tactic again. You might not be fully aware of this. I'll quickly remind you. So, Rust Intimidation walls. Yeah, I know. Okay. It's late. Give me some slack. But yeah, do you remember this video that I made? Do you remember me talking about this quite some time back? This is a tactic a lot of people do employ, I guess you could say. It's to, make people panic and sell to them. Because the moral of the story of this was the people who are putting down the big fat walls just so happen to also be the people who have the highest buy order. And if I quickly hop back over to here again, what did I say a little bit earlier? You don't want to sell now. The best prices are in January. So they'll scoop up all of these somewhat cheaper prices because the expectation is we're still going to be even higher than this. This is nice and it is better compared to here, but we're still expecting even better. So keep that in mind, all right? All skins, by default, do tend to sell for their best prices in January, all right? So, yeah, just be aware of that. main point is you can already start to see some progress. We saw 500 plus listings 2 months ago for the Pirate Pantaloons. This is better. Could it be even better? Yeah, it could. If these fat walls, and you might be some of these people that have these big walls here, if you remove them, they would rise up in price ever so better. And the main thing I always mention, especially during the likes of post-Christmas, don't sell more than 5. Ride the wave of momentum. Don't block it. If you ride the wave, the price easily increases. If these fat walls weren't here, you just have 1131451311111. That gets bought out easily. The price rises up ever so nicely. So again, they have these walls up now because they're going to try and pick off the last few people that might panic. And then I wouldn't be surprised around January, all of these walls disappear. They might be down again at some point around January, but I wouldn't be surprised if at these prices they disappear and then they get repositioned maybe $1 higher. So don't be fooled now. Avoid this. Wait it out. Stay strong. You only have to wait another 6 or so weeks and you'll be selling them for much better prices. That is the main moral of this story. So, yep, get a good look at the gloves. Again, if they didn't have these big fat walls, there's not much after that. It could easily rise above $2. Look over to here, we have the kilt. Kilt has been very awkward for a long time, but with only 191 quantity, it's basically the same thing, but with not as stupidly big walls. 10, 14, 10, 18. At the end of the day, that's not that much. And, well, what was the price of a kilt again? Let's just go remind ourselves. $15. We're going over to here, not the gloves. Here we are. Yeah, well, it's gone down a little bit. Then again, these two are stragglers. So yeah, this is expected to rise back up again. If we look at sales history, you can see that, it's very likely going to be peaking up around January. So last year, it reached a very nice price, went down around April, May time, went back up during the summer. We of course had the autumn fall seasonal dip, and from here and now it's slowly rising up in price. We do have another 6 or so weeks to go. I wouldn't be surprised if we get up at least close to around the price it's selling for. I'm talking about $20+ by January. So yeah, not everyone's going to be able to afford that, but they can afford a $1 cheaper alternative. That is the kilt right here. Yep. So we talked about this. Lots of people look at the likes of the Pirate Collection as a budget alternative. And, what do you reckon? Do you think things are going to be a whole lot easier? So, yeah, not seeing that too bad of some resistance here. And then we also have the likes of the AK and the Thompson. I want to bring these up because last time, did we even have the Thompson back then? No, we didn't. Right, so there's an interesting little bit to talk about. So same thing here with the likes of making a comparison to the blackout skin. If you look at the blackout skin over here, this is selling for $14. That's quite expensive. But the main interesting details with the likes of this is it's fully black with a very nice, useful red aim sight, which you can see right there. That's not the... wait, what? Is that the original version? Wait, hang on a minute. Aim down. Yeah, okay, that was weird. It had a green pic. Alright, anyway, useful red aim sight there. You get the idea. Very nice, very cool. And a lot of people do appreciate that. Well, guess what? This has basically the exact same thing, but it's got like a skull on the back and on the side. At the end of the day, to save like 10 times the amount of money, so this costs like $1.50 at the moment. Blackout AK costs $14. I think a lot of people would prefer to just pick this one instead, wouldn't they? And because of that, you will see a lot of these getting bought. And because of that, you're going to see this easily rise up in price. And very likely, as expected, I said this earlier this year, I wouldn't be surprised if this potentially reaches up to about $3. That was the expectation. We'll see how it turns out. But there's only 58 on the market at the moment. We'll find out what happens next. So things are looking interesting there. But now I also need to bring up the likes of the Thompson, because Thompson was very weird. Thompson was one of the lowest selling... Pirate Thompson, to be precise, was one of the lowest selling Thompsons this year. If I quickly remind us, if I could just quickly hop over to here on its details page, I'll show you this. So yeah, this only did how many sales again? Let's just remind ourselves. Oh look, I'm right there. Because I bought 50 of them because I was confident in it. This apparently only did, well, at bare minimum, just over 12,000 sales, which is incredibly low. And then when you make comparisons to the other Thompsons that came out this year, you're looking at some Thompsons having 27,000 bare minimum sales, 13,800 bare minimum sales, 16,000 bare minimum sales. Why is this so low? Well, the time of the year it came out. I mean, we also had the low poly Thompson come out recently. Nobody cared for it. Only 5,600 sales. But this is part of a liked collection. Yeah, very well liked. Look at the amount of sales these had. On average, all the core pieces had about 50,000 sales, didn't they? So this right here is going to have a very interesting future over the course of the next 2 months. That's going to be probably going up in price very easily. Hardly any sales. Demand is there. This is still more expensive currently at $6, as you can see. So maybe it might not reach the same price, but I'm sure you can understand that. All right, well, you know, you got basically the exact same thing here. Okay, what does it have? Okay, so it's mostly black. Okay, we got some pirate stuff on the side. That's fine. Aim down the sight. What do we see? Oh yeah, you know, basically the exact same thing. The useful red aim sight. So point made, I guess. I'm sure. Overall, this collection is going to have a very interesting time, and maybe that Thompson more specifically, because you know my opinion with Thompsons, especially around post-Christmas. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother series talking about Thompsons. But yeah, we are doing much better compared to where we were about 2.5 months ago. But where does it end up at? I cannot easily specifically say, but my best answer is better than this. Yes. So I've pointed out many things there. You can go look at the Blackout collection yourself and make some comparisons. And don't forget... Oh, what's that doing there? Go away. Sorry. Don't forget, also consider looking at the likes of the Dragon Rage kilt and whatnot. Because I can show that right now. I was talking about the Dragon Rage collection. I meant to say Dragon Rage collection, but I instantly remembered the kilt. So the kilt used to be the budget Blackout option, but then the Pirate kilt came out. Look at what happened around the time when the Pirate kilt was accepted, and you can see the impact it's had. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Go to the Steam market, please. Come on. Right, so if we quickly hop over to here, it'll take a while to load up. Steam's been a little bit weird today. Over 200 quantity in the Steam market, currently at $1.50. Resistance isn't too bad. Look at the sales history, though, because you can clearly see this collection does not like Pirate Collection. It stole its thunder of being the cheap alternative to the Blackout Collection. Ever since July, it's just been going down, 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 down. Yeah. So, fingers crossed in the future we don't see an even cheaper budget Blackout alternative, but... I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon, probably. Right, so, yeah, good luck to all of you who invested into this. Remember, wait until around January. Don't list too many all at once. You will ruin your own potential profits, all right? Okay? Try your best to avoid that. Chat, did you invest into these? Do you also own a whole bunch of these? I think I own a whole bunch of them. If I go over to here, if I go Pirate, how much do I have? Am I happy? Oh, I'm looking pretty good right now. Oh, yes. So, I've talked about this over the past 6 months for a good reason. I could see a very nice light at the end of the tunnel, and fingers crossed, I'm going to be making some very decent money. Yeah. Oh, yes. I do hope. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So we will do a video in 2 months' time when it's January. We'll look at what happened. We'll see if some of the skins peaked too early or still haven't yet peaked. And yeah, I look forward to seeing the results. And from what you learn from this whole series, don't forget about this. Like, there's very likely going to be other budget alternatives that do appear eventually and whatnot. I wouldn't be surprised. But the main point is, looking at a collection that has tons of sales, but such strong demand in it that even during the worst times, it doesn't really suffer that much. And yeah, well, it's a perfectly good thing to be aware of and remember for the future. Hence why I have the likes of this, helpful Ruskin investing videos playlist, because every video that you see here should teach you something at the end of the day. Hopefully. And hopefully this one does as well. So yes, this is what it's like just before Christmas. And, well, I look forward to finding out how everything turns out around then. So yeah, here's the current Rust Store for now. We're seeing very low sales at the moment. That's another funny thing that I should also point out. Towards the end of the year, around November time, Rust Stores have very, very low sales. If we do see that Sheepman of Door being accepted, well, that very likely will also have very low sales. All the better for it to rise up in price in the future. So, try your best. Best of luck with all of your investments, and let's see what happens in 2 months' time. Chat, would you like to say goodbye to YouTube? Goodbye, YouTube. And, yeah, keep looking. Enjoy all the profits, but just stay strong. Hold out for a little bit longer. And, yeah, you get the idea. That's not saying goodbye, Scope Off. That's Maxwell. All right. Catch you later. Say goodbye.